Hello there, I'm going to show you how to create this awesome border. It looks more complicated than it is. It's really simple. For this particular sewing technique, I highly recommend that you don't use two printed fabrics. You're going to need something that stands out the two different areas. So you're going to want to use two strips of a plain cotton and then one strip of a patterned fabric. Or another way you could do it is using plain fabric, like a yellow, and then using this as like a plain blue. So it really stands out. You really want an impact from this. If you choose two fabrics that are too similar, it's not going to be as effective. So this here is going to be my middle section, and I am going to cut this down to 1.5 inches in width. So I'm just going to fold it over. I'm going to line it up here, and I'm going to get my rotary cutter, and I'm going to cut it right along here at 1.5 inches, and then it's just going to be the width of the fabric. And generally the width of a whole piece of fabric is generally around 40 inches. So I'm just going to cut this to the 1.5. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And this is the strip we're going to be using. Now I'm going to cut 2 more pieces of fabric. Sure I haven't moved it there. And I'm going to cut 2 sections off at 2 inches. So that is one. I'm going to cut a second one at 2 inches. That's 2. Another thing that I like to do is cut these ends off, because I don't want, this is where it's on the loom and you can see where them dots are, and I want them to be cut off. Now you're going to open these out because they're folded over, the 40 inches, remember? Fold everybody out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put the first one right sides together to that first strip. We're going to take it over to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew 1/4 inch all the way down. I'm not paid nor sponsored to create this video. In the top of my baby block here, I have the white polyester thread, and in my bobbin area I have white bobbin thread. And I'm also going to put my 1/4 inch foot on. My 1/4 inch foot comes with a guide, so it helps me get that 1/4 inch really perfectly. So let's start attaching them sections together. You're going to have a section that looks like this. So you're going to open this out, and I would just get your iron and press this seam down. The next step that we are going to do is take our other section, we're going to put it right sides down on top, and we're going to sew this right onto here. Now again, you've got something that looks like this. You're going to want to open it up and press this into place. Now you're going to go along and you're going to start cutting 1.5 inches. Just go along and cut 1.5. Now you're going to start sewing these together. So this is going to be your first one here, and then you're going to sew your second one right where this crease is here. So the block goes like this. So you're going to fold them right sides together, and then you're going to make sure that that seam, as the camera, matches up, and you're going to go ahead and sew it into place. Then you're going to open it up and press. I recommend that you keep it on a diagonal, and you are going to match the next 1. So it's going to be here. So we're going to put it right sides together. So just make sure that you match corner to corner. Haven't quite got it there. So, and then flip it over and make sure that them seams are matching. So it's going to look like this. Then you're going to open it up. And then we're going to do another one. Let's do another one together. I'm going to press this. Just keep it looking like this so all of these are going the same way. Get your next piece of fabric. Remember, we're lining it up to the top one and then to the bottom one. And I'm going to put it right sides together and I'm going to sew this into place. So this isn't all. I'm going to finish it all the way to the end and I'll show you what we do after this. What I'm going to do next here is I'm going to line my ruler up with all of these points here. So this point here, like all these points, I'm going to line my ruler up to that. So I'm going to try and make sure that this is straight. And then I am going to take my ruler and I'm going to cut it at that mark there. Then I'm going to move my section down and do exactly the same. I'm just going to get it just where them points meet down here. And I'm going to cut it all the way across. And then I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to do exactly the same. So now I have this straight edge. And I'm going to start taking all of these corners off. And this is what you'll be left with, this beautiful long strip. So you're probably wondering, what are you going to use this for? Well, of course you could use this as a border on a quilt. So you would go as long as what you need to do, and that would make up your border. You could use this on a pouch, on a tote bag, whatever you fancy. I think it's really cool technique. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I have over 400 YouTube videos. There are so many videos on there. You could spend a week learning. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.